allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Susie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Groves.
I'm here.
Councilmember Chambers is absent. Councilmember Salzweedl.
Here.
Councilmember Barkus.
Here.
And Mayor DeVore.
Here. Motion to approve Marty's absence.
I'll support.
Make that motion.
And I'll support.
All right, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion to approve the consent agenda for tonight.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll support.
Discussion or changes? Sue?
Councilmember Groves.
Yes.
Mayor DeVore.
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl.
Yes.
And Councilmember Barkus.
Yes.
Public comment. We got a hurricane named after you. You got to say something.
This will be real quick. And Rich is not here, but I just wanted to, he must be a miracle worker. And he's a great employee for the city. At the last meeting when we were talking about Riverside Drive, I had mentioned that that type of traffic was going to be diverted to Hudson and then possibly turning on Hunt and Hudson, that intersection. A week later, the county was there and redid that whole intersection, and I'm assuming that Rich was part of the reason why. So kudos to Rich and the DPW. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Perry Mitchell. Sue, he resigns.
Something Riverside.
Yeah. Anybody else? You have a letter, right, Susan?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay. Per our conversation, I'm writing to you about the placement of the barriers on Riverside Drive. Currently, the plan is to place them on the north side of Elm. This makes it difficult for the residents in the first block north of Elm to access their driveway unless they drive the wrong way on the one-way road. What about placing the barriers on the south side of Elm to avoid this situation? And she signed it, Jenny Teachout.
All right. Any other public comment? All right, we'll move to old business number A, Riverside Drive update, Mike.
Yeah, so we're still shooting for the 15th of July to start the project. I have authorized Rich to buy some separate barricades for it. It kind of alleviates them having to use the AAA barricades that we have. So he is in the process of ordering those, and then we're thinking 3 months, and we'll test it and see how it goes.
Questions, concerns, comments? Okay, moving on. New business number A, aquifer study. Mike again.
As we continue the process of expanding and upgrading our water and wastewater facilities, along with the potential of facilitating the development of all Nash 996, we have an issue we need to investigate. An interested party has requested to develop a large portion of the proposed development site. The company and type of business are currently unknown to the city. However, they have provided utility demands that would require an expansion of the site approximately 3 to 4 times beyond what we are currently projecting for the water treatment plant. We have been discussing expanding the facility from 1.5 million gallons a day, or MGD, to a 3 MGD facility. The township is also exploring their options for providing water to the site and is considering the potential of adding water from the city. If this development were to come to fruition, it will require a 6 to 8 MGD water treatment plant. During discussions with our engineers, we need to determine whether our aquifer can handle this demand. Previous analysis has confirmed the aquifer could handle the increase to 3 MGD, but beyond that requires further review. Additionally, EGLE will require an analysis of this. We looked at an estimate from our city engineer, Williams & Works. During our discussions with Lowell Township, it was mentioned that the Right Place would fund the analysis for us, as they have funds available for site readiness. We have an estimate from Williams & Works for this work, which is $38,500, and the details of the estimate are in your packet. The Right Place has agreed to fund the full amount for the aquifer study. As a result, we need to approve an agreement with the Right Place in order for them to complete the study. I provided you a draft agreement which the city attorney and I will need to modify with them There's also Resolution 1424. At this moment, the proposed development is speculative, and there are no commitments for them to move forward. However, this study will be beneficial regardless of whether or not this project became reality. I'm recommending the Lowell City Council approve Resolution 1424 as presented upon the condition the city attorney and I finalize the agreement amenable to the city with the right place.
Easy enough, any questions?
I looked at the overall numbers and stuff like that, and you're saying 6 to 8 would be additional usage out there at the highway?
Yeah, we would have to, from what the demand is and to what we would need, it would be somewhere between 6 to 8 MGD.
And then with the growth outside that, so would you say we would be up closer between 8 to 11 as we
No, I think
grow?
right now, one of the issues we're having is we want to make sure we're not underbuilding facility, but we're not overbuilding the facility. So the aquifer study is going to tell us what we think might be the best route. I don't see us going to, I mean, I think 6 to 8 is a large, it could be a large ask just to begin with, whether or not, you know, there could even be the possibility that the plant would not be able to operate. We wouldn't be able to build off that plant. It might have to be, if you did that, you might have to build a whole new plant. So there's a lot of questions that have to be asked. But I don't, from everything that's been gathered to us right now, we don't foresee, if this was going to happen, and beyond 6 to 8. Otherwise, we're still kind of planning for 3 MGD, but the
Right.
numbers that just have come in are just, 3 MGD is not going to be enough.
Mhm. Yeah, I just thought that 3 MGD were just the, what we were looking for, local growth without the
It would-
development out there.
No, we believe initially before these numbers came into place, we believe 3 MGD would be able to cut it. Because they were giving us different gallons per minute as to what needs to go out there. So initially, from what we had thought, what we think could be, that was where we were shooting for. But like I said, once these numbers came in, it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I guess I'll wait till the study.
Yeah, I would wait for the study.
Asking
The study's
questions.
the study's gonna give you more information as to what we need, what we can handle, one.
Can we change that from MGD, because I always think Miller.
Miller Genuine Draft, me too.
I know, yeah.
We're gonna need 3 Miller Genuine Draft to make this happen, but, no, we're good, I'm just.
Yeah, it's, how we communicate internally is we use the term MGD.
Right.
So,
Here,
Perry Beecham, 924 Riverside Drive. I think the study is very good. I would just caution when this customer, unbeknownst to who they are, when they're that large, and if the city builds for that, and then all of a sudden they're not successful or whatever, it would put a huge bind on the city. So I attended a Zealand public meeting for their water and electricity, and they have one customer that uses 95% of their water. And when we were talking, if that customer should actually leave, go someplace else, they would be in a world of, the other ratepayers would be in a world of hurt. So again, I would just, when you go through it, you just have to look at all the.
that is a concern to the city and the township. I can tell you that.
any other questions?
Well, I'm in favor of resolution 1424 as presented, to move forward with the study,
Okay.
with some more information.
Motion that?
Yes, I will.
Okay,
I'll support.
any other discussion? Sue?
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
Councilmember Marcus,
Yes.
and Councilmember Groves.
Yes.
Riverwalk street closures.
Might have Shannon come up.
Shannon.
Yes, Shannon Kennedy, Executive Director of the Lowell Area Chamber of Commerce. Earlier in March, you approved some road closures for the Riverwalk Festival, and I thank you for that. Riverwalk is next week. Taking a look at the current conditions of the Washington Street construction, we suspected, and it's come true, that we are not able to use Washington Street for the car show portion of Riverwalk Festival. So this is a request to extend our road closure request past Jefferson and take it to Jackson Street. So just adding one more block to our road closure. It was pointed out at the last construction meeting that Jefferson is a truck route. And I emailed Atwood, Navico, and they will not be running trucks inbound or outbound on the Saturday of Riverwalk. So it would not impact them. Taking a closer look at the block, there are 8 houses, but 6 driveways on that block of the road. So it would impact 6 residents if we do extend 1 block further east. So for that consideration, though, we're hoping to go 1 more block.
Any questions for Shannon?
Have you reached out to the 6 residents and do they?
I have not. Typically, we deliver letters to the area businesses at least regarding the road closure. We could certainly post on Facebook, but I'm happy to go to those 6 residents. And we
I
would not
just-
block their driveway if they absolutely could not park around the block or get out.
At least like to have you reach out to them to let them know what we're looking to do. So,
Okay.
other than that, I don't really have a problem.
Any other questions for Shannon? Motion to approve the amended street closures.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Discussion? Sue?
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
Councilmember Barkus,
Yes.
Councilmember Groves,
Yes.
and Mayor DeVore.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon. Board and commissions, Mr. Barkus.
A couple of things. The Lowell Trail Group is in negotiations with the Eagle as far as fees that are required to start the trail build. The area is listed as the most sensitive riverside. There's 4 levels of sensitivity. That is the most sensitive, the highest fees, so they're negotiating for that. One thing interesting on the trails is, you may not know this, but they are going to build the trail using a thick honeycomb structure that is filled with gravel, so that when the trail will flood, it will not move. So that
Well, that's cool.
is really interesting. And the historic board has a few interesting things. Number one, they received a $25,000 grant from the Look Memorial Fund, of which they are very thankful for.
Community fund,
Lowell Community Fund. Thank you. So they're very thankful for that. Rogers Neighborhood Realty received a 30% aid on new windows for the upstairs of their building. They are planning to renovate that into 2 apartments, which is really nice and needed. And also Lowell Arts is doing some rebranding with new windows, and they're going to be putting murals on the west side of their building, which will be neat, part of the arts in the city. And the museum is getting some new signs, so that's it.
Very cool. Chip?
I don't have anything until the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, chamber is canceled for July as usual, and Parks is later in the month.
DDA is canceled because it's the 4th of July and fire authority's not for a couple weeks. City manager report.
Yep. The Washington Street project, the closure at Main and Washington, is tentatively scheduled to begin on July 15th. We have sent notices to all of the property owners on Main Street that a closure was coming. We've been notifying other ways, just the 15th, and it is going to be most likely a 30-day closure, mainly because of the utility work underneath, but the most important part is MDOT's requiring us to put a concrete base back down on M21. They won't let us use asphalt, so that needs time to properly cure. So that is the major reason why it will take as long as it is. The Lafayette and the crossover streets along Ottawa are currently out for bid right now. The deadline the bid opening is scheduled for July 16th. Plan on bringing that to you to the August 5th council meeting for approval, and then the DDA will approve it a few days later for the Ottawa portion of the project. The MERS actuarial, we received it late last week. We did, as a total, we did drop 68 to 67%. Mainly the stock market fluctuations that we had last year was the driver. I'm going to have our regional manager from MERS come to the next council meeting to walk you through the actuarial. On June 20th, we instituted the water restrictions in both of the city of Lowell Township. On the 19th, we had for that day, we had over 1.4 MGD, which is a significant strain on the facility. Since that day, I think the highest we've had 2 days of just over 1 MGD. And I mean, just slightly over it. We've been seeing with the exception of the days it rains, we're seeing around the equivalent to about 800,000, 900,000 gallons a day. So people are following them, and I appreciate that. I'm currently in the process of working with BLDI. We're gathering information for the Eagle grant for the railroad cleanup. I have to have everything submitted to Eagle by the 15th of July. The river cleanup request, if you recall, Rich Perry was here at the last council meeting in his public comment and made some suggestions. He did conduct an analysis of the water as to what the items are and how to treat it can be done. I did talk to him today, and he does have some information. He did send me the report. However, I didn't have a chance to review it today, so when I return from vacation next week, I will review it. Anyhow, we're planning for him to come to the next council meeting to discuss it with you. And then lastly, if you recall last year, the city entered into an agreement with a group called Flat River Kayaks for them to rent kayaks on the Riverwalk. Last year, they followed the agreement. They paid every month that the owners had some personal things that happened to them, and they weren't able to operate last year, and they're planning on starting here very soon. They've been in full compliance with their lease agreement since they started, so they'll get going. That's all I have.
Questions? Okay. Nothing in appointments? Council comments, Archie? Eric? Jim, you got nothing?
No,
Perfect.
I
Cool.
do
Moving
have,
on.
I do have something, because I was told by one of my superiors on the council here that I needed to.
You don't have,
See, not only do I want to wish everybody a safe and happy 4th, but it also happens to be Mike's birthday. It's not today, but it's up and coming. I couldn't get the 5-0 to fit on the cupcake.
the 5-0.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I did bring that part of it. So anyways, happy birthday coming on up. We won't be able to celebrate it later. So, should we sing a song? No, I would
don't think
recommend
that's-
that part of it. No, I was not told to sing a song, but just to wish you a happy birthday
Thank you.
from Mayor Pro Tem Chambers.
Thank you.
Yep. So, indulge. That's all I got.
I have nothing. A motion to go into closed session to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute, MCL 15-268-1.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
Yeah, I'll support.
Double support, better than none, right? Okay,
Roll call.
yeah, yep.
Councilmember Barkus,
Yes.
Councilmember Groves,
Yes.
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl.
Yes.
Okay.